got to start right there with that Gen 10 trailer. Casey, your first thoughts?
I actually really liked all three of the starter Pokemon this time around. And that has not been the case recently. But I'm super excited to get that fire type Pomeranian Pokemon as my starter Pokemon.
Very cute.
Yeah, very cute. I like that we saw more than just the starters this time. Sometimes Pokemon reveals a gen and it's just like, here's the starters, here's the titles, and maybe a quick little concept piece. But no, this was a big chunk of what this game is going to be. Looks super Wind Waker inspired to me as a big Zelda fan. Lots of water, island exploration, different biomes. We saw a ton of different Pokemon. And I thought this looked really nice. Like, this is a huge step up from what the games looked like on Nintendo Switch, specifically Scarlet and Violet. Like, they even showed a windmill, which famously chugged so poorly on Scarlet and Violet, and this windmill looked just fine. Nick, what'd you think?
I think you took the words right out of my mouth. This looks gorgeous. I think this also, just on this cursory trailer, this looks like a significant improvement visually over something like ZA Legends as well, which was also a Switch 1 game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So the fact that this, the end card of this does say for Switch 2 instills the hope that they are optimizing and designing for stronger and superior hardware, which means that the game, in theory, is going to take advantage of the Switch 2 hardware to its fullest extent, which makes me very, very happy.
Yeah, maybe not, I don't know, maybe not to its fullest extent. To the fullest extent Game Freak can, I think. Is maybe where I'll go on that.
But look at the water, look at the waves!
Yeah, the water looks awesome. The water looks really good.
The waves have to look good. It's called Pokemon Waves,
Yeah.
Or Pokemon Winds.
Miranda, what do you think?
I want to actually take us back a second to when they just open the door and you see these two Pikachu, and it kind of looks like your Pikachu's parents in a weird way. It's just like, look, we're coming from vacation. Hi, sweetie. Come look outside. That's kind of the vibes it gave me. It's like the tourist parents.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the reason I call that to the forefront is because one of the things I feel like some of the recent Pokemon games have really missed is interactions with your Pokemon. Where are my mini games? Where's the time for me to get to really vibe with them other than just sitting on a bench and looking at them, or throwing a ball and hope they chase it and it works and then they just all fall asleep, I guess. But I think if this, them being dressed up, them looking cute, I feel like that was very intentional as part of this presentation. I think whenever we've dissected these first looks in the past, we've definitely been able to read into them not incorrectly. So I think that was a bit of an indicator that maybe they're a little bit focused on, customization for your Pokemon, or spending time with Pokemon in a different way. Give me Super Contest back. Come on.
Yeah, and just, again, if you're listening to us later, this is live at 6:30 right now. We just saw this trailer for the first time, so I'm keeping an eye on if any press releases or anything drop about Pokemon Winds and Waves, so we can know more. We're just going off the first impressions of this trailer, and this is a big moment here, where they dive underwater, and we see a ton of different water-type Pokemon swimming around, and Casey and Miranda, I know your first thought on this was, this is looking like a huge game from, a guide's perspective, and just in general.
Yeah, we've done it before from Tears of the Kingdom. We've got layers. We're good on that. But I do think it's always interesting whenever you get these big open scenic shots. Usually they'll just show one main area and sometimes glimpses of other areas you'll visit later, and it definitely has that vibe. I love that they showed what we're looking at for the Pokemon Center, at least, or at least Pokemart, where we're going to do some shopping and some other things, and it is giving a little bit of Scarlet and Violet in the vibes that everything's kind of outdoors in that way.
Yeah.
But I think I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I am glad that it looks like a lot of different kinds of areas to explore, and I really like the different change in perspective when they went into the forest. I really want to see actual gameplay of this now, because this looks great. I want to know if the actual gameplay looks this good.
Yeah, are these bull shots or not,
Yeah, I'm hopeful to think no. I feel like the first time we saw Legends Arceus on Switch, that was a year out of its release, and it looked rough, and we're like, well, they've got a year, and it came out looking a little better, but still a little rough. Scarlet Violet, same deal. A lot of these games look really rough on first look, but no, this one looked nice. I think that, I don't know, Pokemon... They had to know. They had to know that Scarlet and Violet, despite selling extraordinarily well, for a lot of fans, it was damaging to the brand. It absolutely was. They patched it up on Switch 2. It runs much nicer now on the new hardware. And this is the first Pokemon game on a new generation of Nintendo hardware, being a Switch 2 exclusive. I'm glad to see that, this is, by all accounts, so far from this brief first look, is looking like they have solved a lot of issues that people had with the prior couple of entries. Even Legends EA ran very nicely on Switch 2, but still a Switch 1 game, and the buildings did not look great. That city was not super pretty to look at. So I'm super enthused seeing just visually that this is such a big improvement from what we've gotten the last 7 or so years of Pokemon. Like this is very exciting.
I think the big thing that stands out is the density of the foliage is the thing. Like there's an LOD here where I think in ZA Legends, because it was built within a city, it had the luxury of being able to obfuscate a lot of the LOD by just saying, we're in a city, you're not going to be able to see that far away. And the fact that we are seeing so much brush, so many trees off in the distance, early on in the trailer, you see like a little balloon floating in the island, which maybe is some sort of challenge or something like that. Like it shows you that there are things on the horizon, and I am hoping there is a level of if you see that mountain, you can go to that mountain kind of vibe in this one. So fingers crossed, we will see.
Yeah, Casey, you were going to chime in?
Yeah, I have to say, this is the longest we've gone without a core Pokemon game. So I think Scarlet and Violet is 2022. This is 27, so 5 years. And usually we get a core Pokemon game every 2 or 3 years. I know we did get a Legends game, but just going off, even when Legends Arceus came out, we still got Scarlet and Violet 3 years after Sword and Shield. So they're spending way more time in development for this game than they ever have on a core game before, which is really cool, and I really hope it shows.
Yeah, it's so fun just looking at this. Like I just saw some spire off in the distance. Looks like a ramp leading up to some building. Maybe that's like a gym or something. It's fun that we know very little about this right now. We got to do a starter draft though of these 3 starters. Who does everybody want? Casey?
I want Pombon. I love fire types. I also really like dogs and puppies and like just your basic animal. So I'm excited. Hopefully it doesn't evolve into a two-footed human-looking thing.
A Cerberus.
That's a hard ass, Casey. I don't know if they have an in them.
I know it's a hard ass, but please give me a beast.
Nick, who's your pick?
I'm sorry, it's got to be Pom Bomb. I think he's going to be I think that's going to be the standout starter here because who doesn't love a Pomeranian? I have a little pupper as well, so I'm naming Pom Bomb Chopper after my boy Chopper. And I'm hoping evolutions. Maybe like a Cerberus, it is a fire type, so like maybe there's something there. Hades is really popular right now, so who knows?
Cool.
Yeah, Miranda?
Gekwa does look really cute, though. Let me just say.
I'm going Gekwa. No question. Like I tend to go with the water types, and that's going to happen again here. It's 100%.
Yeah, me too. I'm going with Gekwa. Sorry to the Leaf starter whose name I don't have written down.
I didn't even write it down. I feel bad.
How?
Yes, I think.
And our little PIP covers it every time, so I'm like, it's fine. I'm not gonna choose you anyway.
No, I really like him though. Look, he's so cute.
It looks like an angry bird to me.
Oh, bro.
It is absolutely an angry bird, and you know what?
Yes.
He is a cute little thick boy, so I dig it. I dig it.
I think this is a solid trio, though. I think that they're all pretty good. I think people will pick. I think that it'll be evenly split. I don't think it's going to be super leaning like someone gets 8% or something like that of the pick.
Yep. And it does look like we are getting, like this is very Southeast Asian inspired. Was kind of I think some of the talk of the town around what people were expecting this to be. And it looks like that's going to be a thing. Also, what's that thing on the side of their backpack? What is that?
I didn't see it. What did it look like?
So there's like this big.
Oh yeah,
it
looks like a switch.
Or kind of that. I'm like, but it's really big.
Computer enhanced.
What the heck is that? Yeah, exactly.
Let's see if we can get a freeze frame on that.
Yeah, that was a good one. When they were throwing the Pokeball, you could like see it right in front and center.
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe while we wait to see like a better shot of it, I'm just very curious. It's been a minute since I've gone like fully 100% in on a mainline Pokemon RPG, but when was the last time you could actually go underwater? Well, it's been a minute, right? Like fully explore an underwater area?
In Generation 3.
Yeah,
So
that's the
it's
last
been a
one I can
while.
remember. Yeah, that's one of the most exciting parts of this to me, because I just think about, I don't know, something even as expansive as Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. And in those games, you can't dive under the water at all. It is
Right.
just swimming on the surface. And so to see Pokemon taking a chance to do that, assuming we can dive and they're not just showing us Pokemon you can fish up. Like, I don't think they'd show it in this way if you couldn't. But I think that's just a very cool step for them to take. Okay, we got a freeze frame here. It looks like, I don't
It
know.
looks like
I don't even know, like a giant Switch 2 with a huge,
With a
weird Pokeball
that's-
Joy-Con.
it looks like a fan on the bottom though. Like it
Yeah.
has like this pivot pot. So like maybe it's some sort of climbing to like some sort of tool.
Traversal is the vibe that I get from it because it gives off
Yeah.
skateboard to me too, or hoverboard or something.
Yeah.
But it's too narrow and
Maybe
like
it
just a little too
expands.
short, I feel like, to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it
interesting.
expands. Yeah, maybe it expands.
I mean, there's
We
a
are
lot of biomes, so who knows how we can actually traverse them.
Our producer Tayo saying it could be for swimming underwater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe like one of those cool underwater little fan things that you hold on to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a propeller. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because that is definitely a fan on the bottom.
Yeah.
We're also seeing lots of trainer customization too, just from the different trainers that are running through all these areas, which is great. I mean, that's
Thank
been a thing
you.
for since X and Y that you've been able to really dress up your trainer. So that's cool to see coming back as well. Yeah, this is a really good trailer. We aren't getting this until 2027, so Pokemon is missing its 30th anniversary with a brand new entry. I'm totally cool with that. I did expect it this November, honestly.
I did too. I'm
Yep.
really surprised.
They're dodging GTA.
Oh,
Just kidding. Pokemon doesn't have that problem, honestly. It's like one of the singular franchises that could probably go up against it, but
I think everyone's a little bit afraid of GTA 5, even Pokemon. But
I do wonder what the Nintendo November release is going to be now, because I had it penciled in as Pokemon Gen 10 for the last several months of kind of predicting out what their calendar looks like this year. And yeah, we don't know. So there is now an open spot for something to take that slot in November that usually belongs to Pokemon. If a Pokemon game is coming out, it usually gets November. So yeah, that's wide open. That'll be fun to talk about in future weeks on NVC. But anything else we're seeing from this trailer we want to talk about?
That cloud
the
on the right.
the suspicious cloud.
There's a very like serpentine shaped cloud. It's very
I would
questionable.
originally say Gyarados, but I feel like that would be a weird thing to put up there. So I'm assuming it's something new instead.
the part of the face looks too long to be.
Yeah,
Gyarados.
yeah.
it's
The
giving
it's the
Seviper.
posture.
Yeah.
Yeah, hint
But
at
no,
a
it looks
legendary,
different.
like maybe a new legendary. They're going to be
It's gotta
serpents.
be. That would be so
Possibly.
cool.
Well, it is, as you said, like wind and waves. So like, how are they going to represent wind? Clouds. Clouds
Yeah.
kind of help show that, like the movement. That's how you can kind of see stuff. So if that is, as you said, like maybe part of the legendary, that could help. I wonder if there's like a clue to the legendary below the water.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
if
what I
there's-
was like, because they showed that one. I was
a good
looking
point.
around for something else.
Then it does transition directly to underneath the water, so who knows? Let's see if we can spot anything. We got tons of whale lords.
I know.
So let's also, I'm going to bring up the spread of Pokemon looks pretty decent so far.
Yeah, lots of gen representation
Generations.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
there is something more natural about their placement. Like one thing that always kind of rubbed me the wrong way in all the Legends games is that it just very much feels like, you know, this is the Mareep area of the map. And it seems like there's some biodiversity happening here with Pokemon kind of living out the Ken Sugimori art style where it's like, oh no, this is a fully like a full ecosystem of Pokemon and how they kind of interact with one another in the environment. And you get a little bit of that in Legends, but it looks like this is really adding more to the biodiversity front, which makes the world feel more believable and like lived in, which I appreciate.
Yeah, and I think the models have been definitely touched up a little bit too, because that's been one of my complaints of this last gen. Is I feel like, because I get it, there's 1,000 Pokemon now, and to make all these models and keep updating them for each generation, it's hard, and so they kind of look the same for a whole generation. But now we're jumping to Switch 2, and I just feel like they're looking more natural a bit in their environment. Like we're seeing some better shadows on Switch 2 that these Pokemon are casting, and it just all looks more like a lived-in environment. Yeah, like this, it looks better than I expected that it was going to. Just super impressed. Any other thoughts, guesses, predictions, wants before we move on?
Just, I guess I'm assuming the legendaries will be serpent dragons of water and flying types.
Oh, that'd be so
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. I know. I think of like the serpents from Monster Hunter Rise, like the Wind Serpent Ibushi and things like that. I'm just like, that would something like that totally works here.
That'd be sick.
At this point, all I want to do is just pause in a bunch of frames and like zoom in. You know, like there's just so many spots where it's like I think we saw this, of course, with Scarlet and Violet when they revealed that there's so many little hints about how they want to set up like their gym systems. Usually, if it's like this traditional or something different, we saw some banners in like one of the shots somewhere too that like in.
I can't hear Miranda. Is it just me?
Yeah, Miranda, you cut out.
Okay, so I'm still
me.
okay. Miranda's okay. We're waiting for Miranda to come back. I think we lost her audio. But
Kitty interference.
Yeah, maybe we'll move on from Pokemon Winds and Waves from now, and then come back at the end of the show. Okay, we got the website for Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves. The official website is up now, so I'm just.
I was just looking at that too.
I've been scrolling through it, guys.
Okay, well,
Mr.
perfect.
Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew.
Yeah, we'll get there. We're going to start top to bottom because we do have a bunch of new info, official wording about Pokemon Winds and Waves. The Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves games, all new entries in the Pokemon video game series will be released exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2 in a simultaneous worldwide release in 2027. These new titles feature an open world to explore with beautiful windswept islands and a vast ocean with glittering waves that ebb and flow. The Pokemon that live in harmony with this region's lush environment have developed their own unique ecosystems. By visiting these islands, you're sure to open the door to a brand new adventure that could only be found here. During this adventure, you'll be able to team up with all kinds of Pokemon to overcome both the difficult road ahead and even the forces of nature that block your path at times. Then the website gives us a look at the main characters, which are going to have different outfits depending on which version you're playing. So yeah, we see 4 different costumes there. The partner Pokemon, Brout is the bean chick Pokemon, Pombon is the puppy Pokemon, and Gekwa is the water gecko Pokemon. And then we have what Miranda mentioned. I don't know if we can pull up this B-roll of this website. Special Pikachu make their debuts. The latest video featured the appearance of some Pikachu with a brand new look. Just how could these Pikachu be involved in your adventure? Look forward to future announcements. And they're Mr. Windy Chew and Ms. Wavy Chew are the 2 Pokemon we saw. Miranda, what is this?
I need a Mr. Wavy Chew plush stat, but I mean,
For sure.
I don't know. They look like they're trying to induct you into something. Like they really want to sell you something, maybe, or they've been on vacation a little too long.
They look sunburnt.
They're very tan. They're very tan, but you know, we need more tan Pokemon. I love it.
Yeah, I always feel a little weird though when they give like female Pokemon like eyelashes. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, the Pikachu already has a hard tail. I think that's all you really need.
Yeah, but I think Miss Wavy Chew obviously has to know surf, right? Like that's built in, right?
Let Miss Wavy Chew have her false lashes, okay? If she wants to be glam, she can be glam.
She has like canonically pink, like
cheeks
too. I was about to say, like that's wild. These are very special Pokemon. I wonder if we're going to see. This already makes me think. It's like, are we going to see more?
Are these the cover Pokemon instead of legendaries?
Oh,
no way.
No way.
No way.
Okay,
Nah, I don't
one's
think
windy
so.
and one's wavy, so I was just thinking maybe there's a chance.
They look like they're about to sell me a timeshare. Hopefully not.
Exactly. So the thing I also want to point out too here is that they match the trainer outfits. So for Pokemon Winds, they have like that almost cowboy hat looking guy with pouches on the side, which is like kind of wild. I kind of like it. I'm kind of down for it. And then Pokemon Waves, you have the cap. So I wonder if the Pikachu you interact with is also based on which game you get.
So it does say in the press release that depending on which game you have, your starting outfit is based on that. But that's the only other information I have to add on for that.
Yeah. So it could be like that's like an exclusive. It's like which special Pikachu do you get to interact with? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that could be one of those things that they have as an exclusive. But maybe not. Maybe you just get to see both of them.
They seem very like Squid Sisters coded from like Splatoon,
totally.
like kind of like recurring characters that will, I would assume, just kind of make their presence known every now and then and be like, hey, go check out that island over there. There's something weird going on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like a partner
more
Pokemon
humanized.
that's not actually in your party, but just is kind of a character.
Yeah, just because there's so much personality in them, which is a little bit unusual to me. So that's a thing that makes me think that they're more the mascots of the game as opposed to. I Hopefully not the cover Pokemon, but we'll see.
I just feel like there's no way. Like it's
Whoa,
that.
hopefully not. That'd be amazing. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's rude.
I mean, listen, I'm the first person to run and defend Pikachu, but like, listen, I don't know. I guess maybe sitting next to the legendaries. I don't know.
Not just those two. People would go nuts. It'd be great. Yeah. Windy Chew and Wavy Chew for Cover Athlete 2027. That's my new hope for this game.
We also have the descriptions of the starter Pokemon.
Yes.
You guys are interested.
Yeah, you want to read them?
Yeah, so Brout is, this Pokemon runs about energetically while photosynthesizing using the leaves on its brow. It's lively, but it can also be a bit clumsy. That's the Bean Chick Pokemon Brout.
So
adorable.
cute.
Nice.
And then for Pombon, we have the area below its throat glows faintly from the heat-generating organ within its lungs. This Pokemon is guileless and friendly. So head empty. We already knew that from its expression, and I love it. And
That's
then
great.
for Gekwa, this Pokemon launches springy balls of water from its tail. Gekwa is very intelligent and maneuvers shrewdly while putting on airs.
I love snooty Pokemon so much.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's a great trio. They look good together. I can't get over the Angry Birds look of the last one.
No.
He's looking like that to me. Yeah. Cool. Well,
Logan,
I think
I gotta give you some like NVC homework. You gotta make the entire NVC cast do their artist renditions of what they expect the final evolution of each of these Pokemon to be.
Okay, that's good.
I always love the speculation, so we gotta do it
Yeah.
before it becomes official.
Yeah, I am like the worst. I can't draw at all. I'm terrible. So mine
That's
will,
all right.
will look like chicken scratch, but maybe that's good for Brout. Yeah, cool. Anything else on Winds and Waves?
Not
I think
that
I don't know if we have any more until we get
Yeah.
more time to sit down and look at this, but
Yeah,
just
looking
very
through
exciting.
the website, it's mostly just like screenshots of things that we've already seen. So everything else,
Oh,
it's just more
there-
zoomed in.
there is one thing. It says beginning with Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, Brazilian Portuguese will officially be supported as a selectable language for players. So I think this is the first time that it's accessible at the beginning. So
Yay!
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
cool.
yeah,
That was a big part of Doug Bowser's tenure at Nintendo of America is localizing these games more for Latin American markets. So
Mhm.
it's great to see continue. I remember last year too at the Pokemon Day, there was something about Pokemon cards or something being
Spanish
put into some
language,
new
I
languages
believe.
for the first time.
I remember the Spanish language being implemented in like at launch was a big talking point.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's really neat. I can't wait to see more of this. 2027, that's just a huge tentpole Switch 2 game to look forward to. I know a lot of people have been feeling like that's been totally missing from the Switch 2 lineup this year. So I'm glad that we have this far out one to kind of look at as we get some of these smaller games here throughout 2026. Thanks for watching this clip from Nintendo Voice Chat. Be sure to catch the full episode over at youtube.com/IGN Games. New episodes of NVC drop every Friday on IGN Games, IGN.com, and your favorite podcast platforms. With the Nintendo Switch 2 finally here, there is so much to dive into. We appreciate you tuning in, and don't forget, NVC is the only place you can get the thing.